reached the riverbank, placed the pot on the polished stone, and knelt. Oche watched closely. She lifted the first piece of raw meat, held it above the surface, and then her lips parted. Oche leaned forward. What he heard froze the blood in his veins. I have brought it, just like yesterday. Not a song, not a prayer, not a chant. A message, a delivery. Oche's heartbeat grew loud, too loud for a man who needed silence. Brought what? And to whom? He wondered. He shifted, stepping on a dry bamboo leaf. Crack. The sound was subtle, but in the silence of Odu stream, it was thunder. Madame Azuka stopped. The river stopped. Even the night seemed to stop. Oche swallowed hard. Then the river made a sound, not a splash, not a wave, a breath, a long, heavy, underwater breath, as though something large was exhaling from deep below. The surface rippled in circles, angry, deliberate circles, though not a single breeze touched the water. Madame Azuka did not look at the river. She turned her head, slowly, deliberately. Her eyes moved straight toward the bamboo cluster, where Oche tried to hide. Her voice did not rise. It did not tremble, but the silence around it made the words sharper. Who is there? Oche's body went numb. He didn't wait for his second question. He ran. He burst from the bushes, dropping his palm wine gourd, nearly tripping on roots and stones. The forest felt alive behind him, like something was following, matching his footsteps. He didn't look back, wouldn't dare. He ran until his lungs were on fire, until the village huts finally appeared through the trees, until the sun was rising behind him. By midday, Oche had packed his small bag. No food, no clothes, just fear. He did not greet his friends. He did not inform his family. He did not explain himself. He simply walked out of the village with trembling hands and wide, haunted eyes. Someone asked him what happened. He whispered only one sentence before disappearing down the dusty road. She is not washing meat. She is feeding something. After that, he never spoke again, never returned, never sent word, and the villagers, though they pretended not to, wondered every day, what exactly did Oche see, and what saw him? 3 nights after Oche vanished, fear thickened the village like harmattan fog. Children went home early. Women locked their doors before sunset. Men whispered instead of speaking. Everyone felt it, the sense that something was watching, waiting, listening. And so, under the ancient Iroko tree in the center of the village, the elders gathered. The wind didn't move. The leaves didn't rustle. Even the moon hid behind clouds. Their faces were gray with age, but that evening they looked even older, as though fear had fast-forwarded their lives. Elder Arua cleared his throat. This woman, we cannot continue to pretend we see nothing. Another elder leaned forward, voice shaky. The boy who followed her is gone. 2 other men in this village left as well, after seeing her at the stream. That is not ordinary. Papa Iyaji, the oldest among them, pressed his trembling hand on his walking stick. Odu stream has never been a normal place. Our fathers warned us. His voice shook, not with age, but with dread. Something wakes there. Something eats there. Something old. The elders gasped softly, eyes darting around as though the shadows were listening. Meanwhile, in Madame Azuka's restaurant, a single fire burned beneath her massive pots. The aroma seeped through the cracks of her walls, curling around the village like invisible fingers. People walking by paused mid-step. Some swallowed hard. Others stood staring at her doorway, as if hypnotized. Even those who feared her wanted her food. It wasn't hunger. It wasn't craving. It was pulling. A force. A whisper. Madame Azuka stirred the pot slowly. A faint, unreadable smile forming at the corner of her lips. Not joy. Not pride. Recognition. Like the food itself whispered to her. And she whispered back. The pot bubbled once. Not like boiling water, but like something answering. Back under the Iroko tree, Elder Arua's voice dropped. We must confront her before someone else disappears. But Papa Iyaji shot up his hand quickly. No, confronting her means confronting what she serves. Silence fell, heavy, uneasy, terrifying. Papa Iyaji leaned forward, eyes wide and wet. When a woman washes meat at a forbidden stream, when the river answers her whisper, when a boy sees something that drives him from his home, it means she is feeding something that does not belong to this world. The elders looked at one another, fear tightening every face. Arua whispered, So, what is eating the meat? The old man exhaled sharply. Not a spirit, not an animal, not a god. He leaned closer, voice quivering. Something that should never have been awakened. The wind suddenly blew cold. We must find out what she's feeding. And so, for the first time in generations, the elders of the village agreed on something dangerous. They would go to Odustream themselves. That evening, the elders carried fresh beef to the river. Torches flickered. Shadows stretched like long fingers across the ground. The stream was silent. Too silent. One elder knelt, hand shaking, and dropped a piece of meat into the water. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, the water exploded upward with a violent splash. A shape dark, massive, unnatural, rose from the depths. Not fully, just enough to be seen. Just enough to be feared. Eyes glowed beneath the surface like burning charcoal. Its breath rumbled through the ground. Its skin shifted like wet stone. Its claws scraped the riverbed. Every elder felt its gaze on them. Cold, ancient, hungry. They ran. They ran without looking back. Torches fell. Slippers tore. Hearts pounded. But the creature's voice followed them. A deep, echoing vibration that shook the leaves of the forest. You have seen me, and you will continue to feed me. If you fail, you will disappear without trace.